Okay, let's just follow up with the roster editor. You'll notice that we have three workers whose color has turned to green, which means those workers have gone ahead and accepted the invitation. Now, that would be in a case where we're inviting people into the system who either need to set their password, we've created the account for them, or it could be people that are working for other organizations but have decided to join ours as well, and we're inviting them in even though they have their own account. Now, notice the last one is still gold and the status is invited. You can see that there. So what does it look like for the worker? Well, here's a copy of the email. So we can see it says here to work from Bedrock Health Services. The username is listed here, and that's important for for workers who have not created an account yet, or an account has been created on their behalf and they haven't logged in and set their password yet. So they'll need the username for that next step. And the email says Bedrock Health Services invites you to be on a roster. The information about the roster, Bedrock Health Services uses Here to Work to organize and plan staffing needs. Jim Chapman asks you to accept. And there's some information then about how to go ahead and log in, create your password to be able to do that. So once we accept the invitation, we're automatically sent to the web where we can log in. In this case, as the organization, if we go ahead and refresh that page, what we'll notice is that when we go to the site A, we'll notice worker 001 has now changed to green, which means they've accepted that. And in terms of the organization, it's nice to know that the workers have all seen that email and they're all now connected to our organization. Okay, let's just move on to Shift Editor now. This is one of several different videos going through the different steps and functionality of Shift Editor. The first thing you'll notice when you log into Shift Editor is that there's Find or Select a Shift, and then on the right-hand pane is Shift Editor. So the first thing you'll see is Find by Date is the default, which means if you're looking for shifts, you'll need to make sure that the shifts fall within these dates. It's very easy to set the dates to a different day, of course. But if you go ahead and create shifts that are outside this date range, of course, they will not show up here. So if you create a recurring shift that starts now and goes outside of your date range, then what you'll notice is they don't appear. All you'll need to do is stretch the time out, and you'll be able to see an entire month at a time, and it's completely up to you how you see that. Some of the other functionality here we'll come back to. What I wanted to touch on briefly was Find by Shift Group. And what shift group is shifts that are grouped together by some common thread. So for instance, it could be site A. It could be that the organization would like to group all shifts together by site A. Or it could be that at the end of the year, there's a period where there's holiday or turnover or some kind of shutdown that we need to cover. If the organization wanted to set that up, what you do is call that set of shifts by a particular name. You can set up the dates and times that you'd like that to run. You can give some information here that would go out to all shifts within that group. You could do the same with a glossary term. I'll explain what that means in a little while. And then you have actions on all appointments, and it's really important to recognize this is like an umbrella. And then we put shifts within and underneath that umbrella, and they're all within the same date range, and they all receive the same instructions. We can invite everyone on those particular shifts with one click. And we can also put a particular roster or set of rosters for an entire shift group. So there's some real power here to be able to only have to write information once. And we could also set a location. So if we wanted to set particularly, as I mentioned before, site A, then we could put all of the shifts at one particular location. So there's some real power here. But what we'll do is we'll come back and talk about that in detail a little bit more. First, though, I'd like to go back to Find by Date, and let's go through creating a shift, and we'll do that in the next video.